Good morning, my friends. Well, check this out. My dad decided to surprise me with a little front porch. What a guy. So the plan for today is deboxing the tiny wood stove that I've got for this place. Truly is a dream since I was a boy to have a home with a nice wood stove in it. So pretty excited. The pipe is going to exit right here, go straight up. We were able to acquire some slate that we're going to use for the base. Cool enough is the slate actually comes from a school. It's the blackboard from one of the schools. Let's see how far we can get with all of that. Here we go. So here we have it. That's the spot it's going to be. So the plan for today is to put in a 3/4 inch plywood underneath that's going to match the size that we have for the slate. And that will give us hopefully enough height. So when we install everything, we'll have the height for the pipe. And then when we put the flooring down, that is going to give us a nice height. It's going to give us a nice height so that we'll be able to put some spacers and be lined up so that either the slate is going to be equal to the floor or maybe a little bit lower. So just trying to piece all of trying to put together all the pieces of the puzzle, including my speech, so that we'll be able to be smart about this. So now that we've measured approximately where the pipe is going to exit, the thimble that's been provided, which will fit on top of this. So we're just drilling a hole straight outside. We're just going to measure, and I believe it's 5 inches on each side, and then we'll have that perfect circle. We're going to drill a couple of holes, maybe just one, and then follow that circle line so that we have that perfect circle inside and out, making a big old hole in my wall. Hey, just to put this puppy in. Doing pretty good here. What we're thinking about traveling wise is that we can remove these pipes when we travel it so that I won't be worrying that these pipes are flying all over the place. So what we're lining up is these clamps. We're going to make sure that they're nice and snug and also easy to remove when we want to travel it. Now, with the thimble that they provided, we're putting this right against the plywood. We'll probably seal this with a bead. And the plywood, the cedar planks itself will come over top and we'll just round it over this. Everything is insulated, so we'll be fine fire-wise. Alright, so when we made a fire, we noticed that the outside of this was really hot, and the foam, the spray foam itself, was also hot. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove an inch from it, and that'll just give us peace of mind that it won't melt or do anything that it shouldn't do, and that we'll at least know that there's that much more. When doing a bit of research on the heat shields, the question was, when you put these on, where are you going to be putting these spacers? And the consensus was, well, you put them all the way around, but also in the middle, it has a tendency to buckle. So my dad had the good idea of just putting spacers loose on screws, and then when we put the actual screws in, the screw can be just beside it, so at least that spacer is being used, and it'll prevent that shield from being buckled. Another trick that we're using, we can just hang these as we're pushing the sheet against the wall so that we don't have to figure out how we're going to hold them. So either way seems to work. So we got the two pieces in. I wanted to try to make sure that it protects the window, because when we made a fire we also felt that the window, the vinyl was getting pretty warm. So I think this way we don't block the window, but we protect it, and I'd say this is a good job done. Okay, so here is the last piece, the missing piece to this puzzle. When we put this in, we noticed that the glass here was getting pretty hot. I got nervous because, well, I was like, I'm not sure how well this is going to work, and I wanted to save as much as this window as possible, so I didn't want this heat shield to cover it. But then it almost needs to. So here's what I think is going to work. I got another piece milled that's kind of tied with a natural arc. So that's my solution. I think it's going to work pretty well. It's going to keep things heat shielded. And when you're not making a fire, you can put it away and get that nice corner. That's really what I love about this project. A bunch of small puzzles that you gotta take your time and figure out. I think this is pretty good. That'll do. With all that, I'm gonna enjoy this fireplace. Thanks for joining me. God bless.